Hi everyone, it's Caitlyn here. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and I do encourage you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. Today's video is a bit delayed, I know, I'm sorry. Last week I was 28 weeks pregnant with twins and Matthew came for a few days, so he was over Sunday until Tuesday night, so I didn't get to film my 28 weeks. And then I just had visitors upon visitors, so it got hectic. And then this week I had more visitors and all that shit. So anyways, here I am finally at 29 weeks. It's a few days late from Twin Tuesdays, but it's better late than never. So I am going to talk a little bit about babies, what's been happening. I'm going to show you my belly and all of that stuff. So first off, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happened. I had my growth and cervical length check last week and everything was fine. Then I had another a length check this week on Wednesday, and as you all know, my cervical length, I was admitted because it dropped down to 0.6, and from 24 weeks until 29 weeks it stayed at 0.6, so very, very, very tiny. This past Wednesday when I had my length check, it dropped to 0.2 now, so it's very, very tiny, almost immeasurable. So last night I got my first steroid shot in my hip muscle and that hurt a bunch. It felt like I was donkey kicked in my ass. It hurt a lot. I have another one tonight and then I'll be good for 2 weeks in case babies end up coming any day now, between now and 34 weeks, but they give it just in case the babies come early before 32 weeks and they need their lungs to develop more, like to function, in case they are born early. So if they're born early without it, they need like the tubes and a lot more help breathing. But if they give them the shots, then there's the higher chance that it's going to get them to start functioning and they can breathe on their own if they're born. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Babies are right up in my ribs. But yeah, I had that shot last night. I have another one tonight, and I won't get another one until never. So those are the only times I have to get them, but I'm really dreading tonight's because I know how painful it was last night. Thankfully there's only one more. But really that's all the crazy news. Nothing new, no other symptoms, just that my cervix is almost non-existent now. So hopefully these babies can stay in until 34 weeks and I get to go home, but at the rate they're growing, probably not. Last week they were measuring at their growth ultrasound. They measured baby A, the bottom one, was 3.1 pounds, and baby B, top bunk, was 3.4 pounds. So I had over 6.5 pounds of baby in me last week, and with how they're growing, every 2 weeks they're gaining a pound. So looks like next week's growth ultrasound they'll both be 4 pounds and I'll have 8 pounds of baby in me. It's good, like they're chunkers, and if they come early they're gonna have a better chance because they're so fat. But I really hope that they stay in until I get to go home. Very high wishes, but you never know, right? So I'm gonna get into the information a bit about twin pregnancy at 29 weeks. So when you're 29 weeks with twins or triplets, fetal development will pretty much be the most critical thing that you and your doctor will be concerned about. By this time you'll start feeling the things that are starting to get serious all of a sudden. This is true to some degree since your babies will begin to develop a unique sense of identity and would behave in ways only you would be able to understand. Knowing how and when your babies move and kick is just as important as putting all things together to help them settle when they finally come out. Any responsibilities that you need to take care of for the family and your babies need to wrap up in these weeks, as you won't be able to function more in coming months. It's kind of difficult when I'm on hospital bed rest. I'm away from home, can't really finish anything. When I do get home, we're just gonna have them in a pack and play for a night, and then we're gonna go out and get a crib, and they're gonna co-sleep for the first 6 months or until they start waking each other up. Then we're gonna get another crib. Car seats we've already got tons of hand-me-down clothes from Jackson because we like to stick with neutral stuff. So even if they're girls or whatever, they'll have clothes. We don't have to worry about that. As far as their own bedroom, they're going to be with us for the first 6 months, so it doesn't really matter. They'll come home, and while they're home, we'll start working on the basement for our bedroom. And by the time our bedroom is done, then they can have our old bedroom next to Jack's, and we will be moving down to the basement. So, the growth of the babies at 29 weeks. The growth of your babies will reach a point of slowdown, but only in matters of their length and size. Most babies begin to plateau around these fronts by the 29th week, but their weight keeps increasing substantially. It would reach nearly thrice of what it might be now, giving you back a hard time, literally. Yeah, my hips definitely hurt. Any hair that was present on the skin of the babies until now will find its way out rapidly in this week. The vernix covering the skin would start thinning as their skin gets thicker with all the fat deposits, keeping them safe. If there are tiny remnants of hair that stay even after your babies are born, these too will go away in a few weeks post their birth. Their movements will get a new energetic vibe, with the amniotic fluid surrounding them, providing them with a natural medium for movement. Their kicks, punches, stretches, thumb-sucking periods, acrobatics, and all kinds of activities will reach their zenith. These activities are quite essential for the development, and these also help the mother get a fair idea of how their babies are progressing. Knowing that your children are active around specific time periods of the day can reassure you of their well-being, and if you feel something is wrong, you can intervene immediately. There's no need to compare your twins with someone else's. What is the size of the babies? So, apparently to this, as mentioned earlier, this current phase focuses more on the weight of the babies than their physical attributes. When looking at their size or length, it would tend to be nearly the same of that of the previous week. So probably around 16.5 inches. Their weight, however, would nearly cross a kilogram or come close to it pretty much. So yeah, they're like 16.5 inches long, I think, but that's hard to tell when they're all crunched up in the womb. Their weight, like I said, last week at 28 weeks was 3.1 pounds and 3.4 pounds. So they've probably gained half a pound since last week. As I mentioned, every 2 weeks my growth ultrasounds, they're gaining a full pound. So this week they're probably about 3.5 and 4 pounds. Common bodily changes, constipation during pregnancy, yes. I've been having a bit of a trouble with pooping, and it sucks. I've asked them for some stuff, it hasn't helped, so it's getting cramped in there. My intestines are squished. I'm not uncomfortable, it's not causing pain, so I'm not fairly worried about it. It just sucks. Hemorrhoids, don't have any yet. Big thing, yet. I do have vaginal varicose veins though, and they hurt. They ache. Relaxation of the muscles can cause your intestines not to function the same strength as they did before. So the constipation and all of that. My hips are hurting like no tomorrow because babies are super heavy and right down in there. Symptoms of 29-week pregnancy, so scratching your belly, itching, that kind of stuff. I like to lube up my belly with my homemade concoction of lotion every morning and every night, so I haven't really had an itchy belly or anything. I don't have stretch marks yet on my belly. That's probably going to come in the next few weeks. I can feel it because my belly is hard and tight, and it doesn't, I don't know how it can stretch anymore, but it's going to. So I'm not worried about getting stretch marks. They're gonna happen. If they're gonna come, they're gonna come. You can't prevent it. it happens, it's genetics. The bladder, what's weird is I don't feel when I have to pee. Like, my bladder will be full, but I can't tell that I have to pee. I have to go and make myself pee every few hours because I don't get the urge to it. And I guess that's kind of bad because I don't want to get bladder infections. So I could go like 4 hours and I'm like, I haven't peed in a while. Like, I don't feel like I have to pee. And then I go and sit down and it's like a gallon of pee coming out and it's just like, oh, okay. So that's a little weird. So what to eat? Need to make sure that I keep my protein, green leafy vegetables and all of that up in order to maintain my hemoglobin levels. So that is a big thing. Oh, also last week I had my glucose test, the diabetes, gestational diabetes test. I had the crazy sugary drink. Yeah, I had the drink. And then I did the blood work an hour later. I failed the test only because I was right on the cutoff. So the cutoff was 7.5 and I was 7.5. So the next day I unfortunately had to do the test again, the 3-hour one. And they woke me up at 6 a.m. to drink it, did my blood. An hour later did my blood. And then at the 2-hour mark, they did my blood again, and then I was able to eat. And holy crap, that drink, it tasted like liquefied bag of Skittles. It was so sweet, but I passed the second test, so I am clear for that, thankfully. Does anyone else find that the orange drink, like the first one you drink that isn't crazy sugary, doesn't it remind you of that orange drink that McDonald's used to sell? Like if you were having a soccer game or some type of event and they would go to McDonald's and buy the orange drink in that big red tub with the white lid, that's what it tasted like, and I loved that taste. Like, so many people say they can't handle the taste, makes them throw up. I actually like the drink. I actually think it tastes good. If you think it tastes good as well, let me know in the comments down below, because I feel like a weirdo being the only one that likes it. Alrighty, so then it just goes over what I need to shop for, like baby wipes, baby nail clippers, thermometers, sanitary napkins for myself. I've got everything from having Jack. I still have my little squeeze bottle for my vaginal post baby care. I'll get into that video after I have the babies. I'll do a detailed, informed video of postnatal care for myself, because I'm like, that's one little area that not many people talk about or embarrassed to talk about. So once the babies come, I'm gonna do a postnatal private area care, and I'm gonna talk about what it's like, how I'm feeling, how I'm healing, everything that I use and wear post baby. But yeah, other than that, just have to show you my belly. So like I said last week, I missed doing that. So here is my belly at 28 weeks. And here is my belly at 29 weeks. Oh, not a crazy amount of difference, just I'm getting bigger, not like drastically bigger, but bigger, you know? I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe to my channel to watch more of moi. And if I missed anything, if there's anything you would like to know or that's going on, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to answer your questions, but until next week's video, stay beautiful, okay?